what we've heard, I think, right from the beginning of this process, where the expert panel was undertaking their consultations, and I know the Joint Parliamentary Select Committee has heard it, and certainly we hear it on a daily basis with all our engagement with Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. People are looking for recognition in the Constitution, but people also have expectations that addressing discrimination in whatever form that takes is going to be very, very important to ensuring that we can make this worthwhile.
For those not exactly clear who are watching us as to how this process will evolve, how would you address discrimination in the Constitution? What is there at the moment that those advocates of change want to see removed?
Well, there is Section 25 that people talk about, which still enables state governments to disqualify people from voting on the basis of their race, and also in relation to what is commonly referred to as the race power, which is an important power that supports things like native title, but the way it's written at the moment still enables discrimination as well, so it means that laws can be made to our detriment as well as our benefit. People want that addressed, but people are also talking about other possible options in relation to strengthening protections against racial discrimination and looking at ways that Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander can have those Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people can have those sorts of protections going forward.
At the same time, you have voices within the Aboriginal community like Warren Mundine, the head of the Prime Minister's Indigenous Advisory Council, saying, in his words, an adventurous referendum question encompassing some of those points you just raised would fail. What's your response to that?
Well, I just think we have to not get ahead of ourselves. I think that there's a lot to contemplate in this process, and in fact a lot of work has already been done in relation to looking at what the options are for change. So that process has to continue until we get to a place that means that most Australians will support it, but importantly in this context, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people feel like this is a good representation of our voices and make sure that we're providing the right future for us going forward, for our children, for our grandchildren, and this is for all Australians. This is for the benefit of all Australians that we set these things right in our national founding document.
And as things stand at the moment, Tanya Hosh, are you confident such a model and agreed process can be arrived upon as a result of this consultation process?
Well, I think we have to determine the form that the consultation process will have, but I think that everyone knows how important it is that we end up with a legitimate result at the end of whatever process we end up taking. So I think if we can come out of today's meeting with that renewed commitment by everybody to work together to that end, then that's a very positive step forward. We don't have much time to waste. There's an enormous amount of work to do, and in fact there's an enormous amount of work just still building awareness, which the Recognise campaign is responsible for, but I think it's a really great first step that this discussion is happening with the Prime Minister and Opposition Leader today, and I think everybody knows it's significant and we don't want to see this opportunity wasted.